from Boston, and I just crashed on my mountain bike 30 seconds from my house. I literally almost hit a rock this big. So while riding into the sun, I failed to notice this rock that's been here my entire life and just crashed in front of everybody. Everybody. Hit my cheek on this cast iron, trashed my shin, and twisted my wrist. But the bike's in good shape. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. I didn't see that rock. Yes. That's a large rock. I slammed my brakes on and went over the bars like an asshole in front of people. Priceless. Because the sun was in my eyes. In the last minute, I crashed spectacularly. I hit my face on a cast iron railing for benches that are out there. And once again, right where I ripped my shin open, I got that too. And then my wrist a little bit. But the beauty of the whole thing was everybody was looking. Everybody saw that one happening. So that's kind of awesome. And I'm over here in this incredibly small wooded area that people think is somehow Tennessee, or this is a tiny little piece of trees with a dump right there. Really nasty water that's brackish. So it's salt water and fresh water and not good for drinking for those that don't understand what brackish water is. But I gotta tell you, oh, that really, 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 really hurt. My shin is destroyed again. And I mean, I can't believe I smashed my face on a cast iron railing and didn't go unconscious. But, man, at any rate, there's a lot of stuff going on. I know I sound like a broken record, but banks closing and UFO activity is off the charts. It's off the charts. It's almost ridiculous to even keep talking about it over and over and over and over. But a buddy of mine in Canada, his name is Renee. He owns the company called Off Grid Trek that sells solar and that sells lithium-powered batteries and such. Apparently, the word in the prepping community up in Canada is that the banks will be shut down by the end of June. So if that were to happen in Canada, we'd be right behind it, because they'll use that as the catalyst for American banks failing or shutting down or whatever, because, I mean, we are not too far separated from Canada in any way whatsoever at all. So I have to stress this. Turn your money into gold, silver, alcohol, tobacco, firearms, whatever you can right now. Something that has got trade value, something that is actually worth something, because the American dollar is way, way overdue. The New World Order is very, very well established right now, and the whole point of the dollar was to be a talisman to tell you about their plan. And I always said, when they pull the dollar, we will be in the New World Order. And that appears to be where we're at.
In 1933, 33rd degree Freemason Franklin D. Roosevelt added the Great Seal to the U.S. dollar, transforming it into an occult talisman. The same year, he signed a gold confiscation order and took the U.S. off the gold standard. At a press conference on March 8, 1933, he joked, "As long as nobody asks me whether we are off the gold standard, that's all right, because nobody knows what the gold standard really is." David Icke wrote, "The 33rd degree Freemason and Black nobility president, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, had this symbol printed on the dollar bill from 1933. It was a symbol of secret societies in Europe long before anyone heard of the United States, and it is awash with Freemasonic and secret society symbolism going back to the ancient world. Notice the symbology and numerology used on the dollar bill. The most obvious symbol is the Illuminati pyramid, with the hovering, all-seeing eye in the capstone. Notice the symbology and numerology used on the dollar bill. The most obvious symbol is the Illuminati pyramid, with the hovering, all-seeing eye in the capstone. Opposite this is the All-American Eagle, with a downturned U.S. flag affront its chest. These and many other symbols on the dollar come from the ancient stellar, solar, and lunar cults. Michael Tessarian wrote, "The pyramid is for the stellar cult, as are the various stars that appear on the bill. The golden eagle is for the solar cult. The eagle is the symbol of America because it signifies the constellation in Scorpio called Achaea."
Notice how intelligence agency backed Eric Dubai brings up Michael Tessarian, who's also incredibly suspect, and then of course David Icke, who is 100% suspect, the only person on YouTube that was promoted by YouTube the entire time during the pandemic, because he's disinfo. Sorry to say it, don't want to break your heart, said it before, but I find it funny that Eric Dubai just put this up 5 days ago, even though I didn't even know he still had a YouTube channel, and he brings up these particular people as his quote-unquote sources. Be careful who you watch and listen to. But in this video, I listened to it before I posted it right here, and he's on it, and he covers it, so F him, I'm using it.
Scorpio is the sign of power, money, and wealth, as well as secret knowledge. The U.S. elections are held right in the middle of Scorpio, and the birthday of America is in the scorpionic decanate of Cancer. The color green also relates to the solar cult. The number 13, which appears frequently on the dollar bill, stands for the lunar cult. There are 13 months in the lunar year. America originally had 13 states. London is made up of 28 boroughs, this being the number of lunar mansions. 13 is also a stellar cult numeral, much used by the Israelites and other Semitic tribes and nations. Then there are the watermarks, or moon letters, for the lunar cults. The double-headed eagle symbol, which came from Babylon and survived through the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, has been today adopted by America, Mexico, Israel, Germany, France, Chile, Italy, Honduras, and many others. David Icke wrote, "The eagle is a widely used brotherhood symbol, and it can be found on the coats of arms of many countries, including Egypt, Libya, and Iraq. It was a major symbol for Germany, and it appears in the designs of pulpits and lecterns used by the Christian Church. Seals like the one used on the Great Seal of the United States can be traced back to at least 4000 BC in Egypt, Babylon, Assyria, and India. The word money comes from the lunar cults. Early words for the moon were mon and min, giving us mani, printed at a mint. We have a worldwide monarchy that controls the world's money supply. We have finance ministers, prime ministers, and their ministries being controlled by occult elites and societies. Monks perform monthly ceremonies in monasteries. It is interesting to note that the plant mint is green, our money, printed at the mint, is green, and the Isis moon goddess Statue of Liberty is also green. Someone who is ignorant is green. Moon lovers are lunatics. From the French, they are monsters. You can see how the elite esoterically worship the moon, continuing the lunar cult, while exoterically condemning and marginalizing it. Jordan Maxwell wrote, "You will see beneath the pyramid 1776 spelled out in Roman numerals, plus the words Annuit Coeptis, and is translated as Annuit, our enterprise. Coeptis is translated to mean crowned with success, or is crowned with success. Therefore, Annuit Coeptis is our enterprise, which is now a success. Then, in order to find out what enterprise was a success, read on the $1 bill at the bottom of the pyramid, Novos Ordo Seclorum, which translates as the new order of the world, the new world order. The Latin translation of Annuit Coeptis, Novos Ordo Seclorum is, our new world order is crowned with success. The other Latin phrase, E pluribus unum, means one out of many, order out of chaos. The Hegelian dialectic, the problem-reaction-solution paradigm used by the elites to drive world events, opinions, and policies. There are 13 letters in Annuit Coeptis, and 13 letters in E pluribus unum. The dollar encodes the number 13 repeatedly. There are 13 stars above the eagle's head, 13 steps on the pyramid, 13 vertical bars on the shield, 13 horizontal stripes at the top of the shield, 13 leaves on the olive branch, 13 arrows, 13 fruits, and 13 numbers. If you draw a 6-sided Star of David hexagram around the pyramid on the back of the dollar, 5 of the 6 corners will point to letters ASMON, or when you rearrange them, MASON. Jordan Maxwell wrote, "You will find on the dollar bill the eagle, which comes from the ancient concept of the phoenix and has 13 stars above it. The 13 stars are arranged in the configuration of the Star of David, or the hexagram. Most people think the 13 stars represent the original 13 colonies. In the first place, why did they have to have 13 colonies? Why couldn't they have 27, or 4, or 10? When one understands that the number 13 is a very important, profound Masonic number, and that many of the founding fathers of this country were Freemasons, as well as Rosicrucians, then you will follow this connecting thread of material to see what was actually being created. They knew what they were doing when they divided this country into 13 colonies. The number 13 is not an unlucky number for them. It's an...
So yeah, I just stole Eric Dubai's video because he just put it up 5 days ago, apparently, and I had no clue that he was even on the internet anymore, but apparently he is. I don't think anything of Eric Dubai whatsoever at all. His entire history is shady as F, but I got to tell you, regurgitating what we all put out there years and years ago, he's really good at. So I used it. It is what it is. The $1 talisman, when that capstone comes back down, the New World Order is finished. When the dollar is gone, that is them declaring, like I've said in I don't know how many videos, when that capstone comes down, the New World Order is finished. There'll be no more dollar, and things are going to get ugly. And it's almost summertime. You know they're going to use wildfires, train crashes, and every other thing in the world to keep people panicking. All the while, banks will continue to close and close and close and close. They've told us the entire time, and people really believe that this dollar conspiracy theory isn't real. It's the most obvious thing in the world, like so many other things. But I want you to listen to this thing that I put in this video the other day, because all the conspiracy theories that we get accused of are conspiracies, and we're just giving our theories on them, but they turn out to be all right. In this video, I talked about 9/11 for a minute, and I played one of the original, right off the bat, 9/11 just began, one of the eyewitness reports, one of many, and there's a ton of discrepancies because it wasn't a plane. It wasn't a plane. It was a missile that hit a building that was wired to explode. Period. Listen to this guy. This is an eyewitness exactly as it happened.
It's 8:52 here in New York. I'm Bryant Gumbel. We understand that there has been a plane crash on the southern tip of Manhattan. You're looking at the World Trade Center. We understand that a plane has crashed into the World Trade Center. We don't know anything more than that. We don't know if it was a commercial aircraft. We don't know if it was a private aircraft. We have no idea how many were on board or what the extent of the injuries are right now. We have, I understand, an eyewitness on the phone right now. Sir, good morning. This is Bryant Gumbel. Could you give us your name?
Yeah, my name is Stuart.
Stuart, where are you right now?
I'm working at a restaurant in Soho.
All right, so tell us what you saw, if you would.
I was waiting at a table and I literally saw it seemed to be like a small plane. I just heard a couple noises. It looked like it bounced off the building, and then I just saw a huge ball of fire on top. And then the smoke seemed to simmer down. And it just, a lot of smoke was coming out, and that's pretty much the extent of what I saw. I literally saw it seemed to be like a small plane. I just heard a couple noises. It looked like it bounced off the building, and then I just saw a huge, ball of fire on top. And then the smoke seemed to simmer down.
Many of the original eyewitnesses said the same thing. He saw a small plane, and he said it looked like it bounced off. Well, in real life, if a plane hit the World Trade Centers,
it would crash into the side of it and then fall down, because these were the strongest buildings you could even possibly imagine besides World Trade Center 7. These guys lied to us. They did this to start what we're living through right now. Do you see what I'm saying? These guys lie about absolutely everything. How is it we made predictions and they're all coming to pass? We told you the banks would be going under, and they are. Do you see what I'm saying? So this right here was the exact first piece of evidence they showed us of this plane flying through World Trade Center 7. Flying right through. Watch the nose come out right here. Watch this. The nose of the plane came through the building. That is 100% completely, totally, and entirely 100% impossible. It doesn't happen. This entire place was staged. It was explosives, and they used holographics. Or they used editing on television to show us this. They didn't have to use holographics. It's hard to tell. Actually, they didn't use holographics because everybody that was eyewitnesses right off the bat saw these airplanes, or small, what appeared to them as airplanes. I'm imagining they were Tomahawk missiles, which look like this when painted up properly. So check this out. I'm just showing you this so you can understand. An airplane can't fly through the World Trade Centers, and they pulled that footage. That was only up for a minute, so it's awesome that somebody actually saved it. But you see that? That's a Tomahawk missile, and that's what hit the Pentagon. It wasn't an airplane. There never was giant airplanes, period. Yeah, there's an app for that. People don't seem to care. People don't seem to listen. It doesn't seem to matter, but it's going to. Is it a blessing that we can see this? I believe it is. Yes, absolutely. Is it a blessing that I got taken off of YouTube and lost almost all of my platform? Well, I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. Building an internet fiefdom or a fortune off everyone was never my plan. I stuck to my guns. I told you the truth. I didn't use codes, and I knew I was going to get taken out, and I did. So for those of you that still follow me, I really appreciate it. But these guys are getting ready to do this. I mean, the bank's closing after we were warning you that the banks would start going under. Now that it's happening, it's not a coincidence. These guys are going to take us out. And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's been in front of our faces our entire lives, whether we knew it or not. So if you were smart, take whatever you plan on, quote unquote, retiring, and get it out of the bank and turn it into gold and silver and get it in your hand. Be smart. Don't be a victim on your way out, because we're not going to make it through this. You and I aren't going to make it through this if you and I are really true to what we're saying. And I'm fairly certain I've proven over the years that I am. No matter all the hate, all the conspiracy theories, Richie's name is a Mandela effect, all this other crap, of course they're going to attack me. I had no platform to defend myself. Do you see what I'm saying? But did you ever see me pushing crypto? Did you ever see me pushing anything during the pandemic? I'm fairly certain I did the right thing all the way through, even though it cost me pretty much everything. At any rate, Richie from Boston. Oh, real quick. I finally did a video on how to skin and fillet a fish. I told everybody I'd do it a long time ago. It's up on Jailbreak right now. And of course, YouTube is not promoting it in any way whatsoever at all. So any help you can give me. Plus, I'm going to do more on how to skin animals and how to trap and catch them to save yourself. That's my 70-year-old neighbor. He's awesome. And he shows you how to completely skin a sea bass in this video. If you can do this, you can skin any fish. And it's pretty easy. I didn't realize that. At any rate, links will be below. I got to go take care of my shin because it is jacked. I'm out.